It's hard to imagine the town of Laurel without Johnny Janosic World of Furniture.
Yeah, before it became one of the biggest furniture stores in America, it was located in an old chicken house. Now, the story of Johnny Janosic is a true rags to riches tale. It begins with a young man showing up in Laurel with an empty stomach and only $2 to his name. The rest, as they say, is history. Born in Hopewell, Virginia, Johnny Janosic made his first trip to Laurel when he was 16 years old.
He came to see a friend and he stayed for 2 weeks and he liked it so much he went back home, and within 2 weeks he came right back.
Janosic was able to find work at a cannery in Laurel while finishing school.
He didn't want to be like his family and not have an education and not have a job. He had an opportunity and he was welcome here, so he decided to come back and graduate and then get a job and go in the Navy.
Janosic was stationed on the USS Louisville for 2 years before his ship was hit by a suicide bomber in 1944. Janosic was injured and would eventually come home.
But he was a communications officer there, and that's why he learned about TV and radio.
And what he learned, he was able to use when he got home.
So when he came home, he started servicing TVs and doing antennas.
He was also able to reconnect with a girl he met in school before the war.
They ended up going out and he went in the Navy and came back and got married.
Janosic and his new bride, Mary Louise, ran his business out of their home.
He started the business in 1954, and then he decided to, after his house, doing the business there, he decided to move uptown to Laurel.
In the early 1970s, Johnny and Mary Louise added furniture to their store, and business began to pick up.
Oh yeah, that was a really big thing because he was like one of the biggest businesses. There was all kinds of businesses downtown, jewelry stores, pharmacies, and he fit right in there.
And all the while, Johnny Janosic was always coming up with ideas to make the Laurel community better.
He was always doing something. He stayed pretty busy doing the business, but he would think of things to do for the community, and he would come up with ideas and then jump to something else, some other idea, and then Mom would follow through. So he was always giving to his community as much as he could.
It was the late 70s when Janosic decided to move the business out of downtown Laurel and onto Route 13.
Downtown was starting to die. The businesses were leaving. He had a vision of, he wanted to be on 13 where the main traffic was and be visible. And so he saw this chicken house over here that had been an experimental chicken house factory. It had cement floors, but for, about a year, we had to go out there and paint the walls and refinish it and make it a store. And once we opened, it just took right off.
You've passed my store on Route 13. It used to be a broiler house filled with chicks, but not anymore. Now it's filled with Whirlpool appliances, RCA TV sets, and the finest furniture. Where else would you want to buy?
Johnny Janosic.
But not all of Janosic's time was spent at the store. He started every day helping connect people in the community with whatever they needed through the Good Samaritan thrift store.
He thought outside just the furniture business. He wanted to help give back to the community because he got so much from the community in Laurel.
Lori says he even ran his business with his employees as his top priority.
We had like 300 employees. His motivation was to keep those families employed, even in hard times. He would do whatever he had to do to make it go.
In 2006, Johnny Janosic World of Furniture expanded into this 180,000 square foot showroom and today has 3 more locations. Janosic died on July 1st, 2016 at 90 years old, but he left a legacy for the community he had helped so much. You can see that legacy throughout the town of Laurel.
He helped build the Hope Houses in Laurel to help battered women and so forth to have a place to go. He helped start LRC, which is Laurel Redevelopment Corporation, which helped clean up Laurel.
One of the group's biggest projects was to clean up the area near the south bank of Broad Creek.
It was a lot of older homes, run down, and they decided to knock the homes down. And then after they did that, Dad decided he was going to make a park there and planted all the grass, every tree in there. Him and some guys that worked for us. I mean, they laid every brick on the paveway, did everything. It's beautiful.
And now the park is named for the man that made it possible. For Lori, the park and all the other dreams Johnny Janosic turned into reality are a reminder of the man who touched so many hearts.
I think of him, and when I see the park, when I see Good Samaritan, when I see the Hope House, I ride by all those on the way home, and yeah, I really miss him.
Truly a great man. Johnny Janosic's legacy of philanthropy continues. Johnny Janosic World of Furniture has a partnership with Habitat for Humanity. Now, when you donate your used furniture to any Habitat Restore resale outlet, you will receive 15% off your next furniture purchase at Johnny Janosic. There are some restrictions, so we have a link on our website, delmarvalife.com. You'll get more information there.